Well, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari. Okay, we'll come back and look at it later on because Russia has, no, that's not Russia. Although Russia has also indicated its support following the threat, as it was understood, of President Donald Trump of the U.S. to, how did he put it? He would take on Nigeria. But that was Russia. We're talking about China now. China has come out and said that there's absolutely no way that, they're going to just stand by and be looking. As I said, we'll come back to that. But we'll start on a bit of culture. And indeed, we'll probably, have to cross some oceans as well. Because I'm talking about Korea here. Nigeria and Korea, they have relations. Many people will know that, well, Korea has been quite strong in entertainment around the world, but also in science. I believe that, my guest is going to explain a lot to us. She's Kemi Ola. She's Creative Director, Korean Culture Festival, Nigeria. Good morning, Kemi.
Good morning, sir.
No, Yori, my name is Yori Folari. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Our pleasure. And by the way, you can see, maybe you see the way her Kemi is sounding. I don't know if Korea influenced the spelling of that name. Because I think it is the Yoruba Kemi,
yes.
But then the spelling is stylized.
Oh, I'm still very Yoruba. It's Oluwa Kemi.
Aha, there you go. Well, good to know that at least you're still holding on to that. So it's great to have you again. Now, Creative Director, Korean Culture Festival. Before we came on, I actually took Kemi on and I said, wait a minute, you work this closely with the Koreans. Do you speak the language? She says, of course I do. Tell me about that. Because I also asked and you said, no, you've not had you haven't lived in Korea, you didn't study in Korea, but you taught yourself the language.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. How does a young woman, teach herself a language? I think the characters, the scripts, the alphabet, not like ours.
Yes.
It's not like A, B, C, D,
yes,
E.
Yes.
Yet you studied it.
Yes.
And you have become fluent in it.
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, first of all, before you answer my question, please say good morning to our guests in about a couple of sentences.
Oh, okay.
In Korean.
All right. 안녕하세요, 시청자 여러분. 좋은 아침입니다. 저는 라고스에 있는 살고 있는 작가 케미라고 합니다. 만나서 반갑습니다.
Aha, then you added that bow.
Yes.
In that side of the world, the bow is a sign of respect.
Yes.
Whether you're a lady, whether you're a woman, whether you're a man, even you see their leaders accompanying everything with a bow. That's part of the culture.
Yes.
And staying in Nigeria, how easy was it to learn their culture, seeing as you were in a totally different culture? Are there similarities between the Nigerian and Korean cultures?
Oh, very much. And I think that was the major point that helped me learn better, because we have a lot of similarities in culture. For instance, like you just mentioned, respect is a big one. I'm Yoruba, and respect is also quite
very
similar.
big with us.
The Korean society is largely age grade. And same here.
Yes.
So there's also that. Also in Yoruba, we have something called O and E.
That's
where we
right.
speak to people.
That's right.
Korea also has that.
When she was saying O and E, for non-Yoruba speakers, you could be referring to the same person and use, what is that thing? Is it the pronoun or whatever it is? You can use O for the person.
Yes.
But if the person is older, then you would not use O.
Yes.
You would pluralize them.
Yes.
That's how the Yoruba respects a person.
Yes,
I'm not talking to you. I'm speaking to you, a group of you. So they have that much in Korea.
Yes.
Wow.
Same structure, same rules. When it's someone older, someone you've just met, someone whose age you're not sure of, or someone who is just senior to you at work or in life, maybe. Yeah, you use the air version, the
That's
right.
Now, I'm going to do something again. You just explained the similarity in the culture between Korea and here. Go ahead and tell us again, but in Korean this time. So if my question was, are there similarities, are there strong similarities between Nigerian and Korean culture? Responding in Korean, what would that sound like?
오케이. 비슷한 건 많아요. 나이지리아에서 예를 들어 반말하고 존댓말 같은 거 있어요. 그리고 한국어 그거도 있어요. 그리고 나이 너무 중요해요. 나이 낮으면 뭐 아이처럼 말할 수 있어요. 근데 나이 더 높으면 존경함 필요해요. Respect is needed. I just said basically, if you're younger, you can be a child, but when you're older, respect is more important because the age is very important.
In fact, your Korean is almost as good as our own Kolawole in your shows. Because if you hear that one speaking Korean too, you'll be surprised. Oh yes. Maybe later on you people can have a conversation. But thank you very much, and beyond the banter, now coming to the real meat, Creative Director, Korean Culture Festival, Nigeria. This has been going since 2022.
Yes, sir.
And you haven't ever lived in Korea.
No.
Tell me how this came about, such that you fell in love with the Korean culture, the Korean language, Korean practices. How did that all happen?
Well, personally, I had been introduced to the culture much earlier, and I was introduced to it by a drama. I'm sure anyone who is a Korean fan has heard of Boys Over Flowers.
Okay.
So I had watched that. It came in a CD, and the last episode didn't have any subtitles. So imagine watching episode 1 to 19, and then episode 20, no subtitles. So I kind of lost it, like, oh my God.
You have to find out what's going on.
So I started learning the language based off of that. And after a couple years, when I realized that my understanding was increasing, I took it to social media and just started building that brand of Korean enthusiasts. And there I found that there were other members of the community as well. There's now a thriving community, but then it was just starting, and we were just like the weird people who stood out. So in that mix, our convener, Oreolua, she had reached out to me and said, oh, I love what you're doing. I've been thinking about something. I don't know what you think. If we can create a space for people who like the culture to engage with the culture. And so I was like, oh, well, that's cool, because I also have been thinking about something like that. So she started with me, and then she got one other person, and then the three of us just formed this festival. We're just like, what we call it? Okay, let's make it a festival, Korean Culture Festival. It kind of started like that, very playful. I think our first attendance was about 200 people. And so we're like, oh, okay.
This many?
Yeah. We didn't realize, we had no idea it was going to be like that. And right off the bat, we got the attention of some Korean businesses in Nigeria. At the time, there was soju, which is the national Korean drink. Soju in Nigeria was like one of our main partners at the time. And so from there, it just kind of grew and, into what we have now.
Now, what does the Korean Culture Festival, is it Korean or Korean? Yeah, Korean Culture Festival. What does it look like? Does it come in the form of, is there colloquium? Are there discussions? Are there crafts? Tell me, you started in 2022, so you've done the 2023, 2024,
yes.
And you are now preparing for the 2025
yes.
edition.
Yes.
So what does it usually contain?
First of all, we had 4 events, because in 2022, we're so excited by the success of the first one that we did another one in the same year.
Okay.
And so, but then that one had gotten me down. We're like, oh, this is going to be much work. So we started making it annual from then on. And the idea behind the festival is a space for people who are curious in the culture, or interested to engage with the culture. And, it's also a space for people who are already in the culture, that's Korean nationals in Nigeria, to also engage with us and our culture. And, there should just be that place for the relationship. It's one of our major goals, forging a space, a safe space for that bilateral relationship to be improved. And so the event is basically that. We have things that speak to Korean culture, food, we have music, people come and perform Korean songs. This year we're having a Korean speech contest and a dance contest.
For Nigerians?
Yes, for
Nigerian
Nigerians.
fans of Korea?
Yes. Last year we did that. It was strange. it was like a waste of time, even like Korea, you know, and people were like, why not even learn Chinese or French? Like, to use Yoruba in Kotolelu, like, you don't want to be Korean shit, you know? So there are a lot of people now who are doing well in the community. People like Adorashi, like Area Jibade, like Nina, Ineka rather. These people, like me, also taught themselves, and then as the knowledge in the language grew, they started making friends online, they started speaking the language more fluently.
Can you write it too?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So for most people, that's how we started. But now there are people who teach. All these people I just mentioned teach. I also teach. We all teach Korean.
No, okay. You have centers?
Yes, online. There's the Korean Cultural Center in Abuja, but it's central. So for people who can't go to Abuja, the rest of us have just individually organized online classes to help people learn who want to learn. And then there are people who learn online. There are also resources online. There are books and things like that that help people learn. So a lot of people have largely had to learn by themselves, but these days it's more a joint effort. Like you're learning yourself, but you also have resources to learn with.
And the other thing is that how would you evaluate the Korean language? Is it a difficult language, medium, or easy?
Oh, that's an interesting question. And this is because the Korean language is easy to learn.
Okay.
But it's very difficult to master.
To master?
Yes.
Okay.
So the rules are basic, but there are so many, right? And it's, like I said, with the higher speech and the lower speech, there are many more versions of that. You know, so all those rules apply. They have special words and all of that. So it's a lot. But at the core of it, it's easy to learn. It's just...
Do they have accents as well? Like in Yoruba, you know, one word could have up to 7 different meanings, depending on where you stress.
Yes, yes. The most popular one would be yes. Yes is ne in Korean.
Okay.
So if you say ne, that's just yes. You can say ne, and that's yes. And it's the same way.
Okay, the same way.
So ne, all those, that also happens with Korean, where if you stress different parts of the word, there are even sounds too, where Koreans say a lot. So they say all those things, all those rules, the same rules apply to language, yeah. The same thing with dialects. You have Egun Yoruba, you have Eko Yoruba, it's the same way. They have the general Eko Korean,
mainstream, you know.
Seoul Korean, that's the Seoul Korean. Then they have other like Busan dialect, Jeollado dialect, like it just breaks.
Seoul is the one that I think a lot of Nigerians will know.
Yes, Seoul is the mainstream Korean.
It's the mainstream Korean. Yes. Korea is also heavy on science as well. You know, I mean, people, especially the modern people who are interested in technology, a lot of EVs, a lot of electric cars come from there and that kind of thing. But let me go back to, since you started this thing and it's been working, do you have relations with the Korean embassy in Nigeria? Do they know of your existence?
Oh, yes.
Are they warm to it?
Yes, I would say that they know, although we haven't directly worked with the embassy. We have worked with, I think, every other Korean organization, government organization. There's the Overseas Korean Agency, which is one of our biggest partners. Even for this event, they are headline sponsor. We have the Aninhe, which is the community of Koreans, like collective community of Koreans. What
was that again?
Aninhe.
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 Anife. Okay.
Well, that's a good.
I mean, this was my very first lesson in Korean. My very, very first.
It's a good one.
So you can see.
So that community. We also have the KCC and the Korean Culture Center. They have acknowledged us for every event. You know, so our relationship with them is warm as well. We realize that while this is our space, it's their culture. And so if we're doing it, we have to do it right. So there's the place of personal study and personal knowledge. There's also the place of letting the actual owners of the culture see that I'm trying to relate to you and, you know, am I doing it right? And so that was the...
Has that been successful.
Yes.
That very aspect you've just mentioned.
Oh, yes.
They are accepting
yes.
in Nigeria.
They're accepting. I think the initial reaction was fascination. Like, okay, interesting that you are trying this. Let's see what you know.
Let's see how far it will go.
And then it's gone from there to when we're having conversations and we say certain things. They're like, oh, like you know about this too, and just having that with them has built a sort of trust and friendship over time. So we know to go to them first when we want to plan our events. Oh, we're thinking of this year. Will it work for you guys? What do you think about it? What do you think Koreans will like it? Because now we want to involve them as well. So that has been very pleasant so far.
Well, thank you very much, because all your explanations sort of give a better sense of the Nigeria, the Korean culture center. That's the proper, is it the Korean Culture Center?
Yes, Korean Culture Center.
And then you have a Korean Culture Festival, Nigeria.
Yes.
Because they might be doing the same thing in Sierra Leone, in Ghana.
Yeah.
So you did.
So we added the Nigeria to it. Okay,
so when is this one coming up now? That is the 2025 a culture festival.
It's coming up very soon, actually. It will be this month, the 22nd of this month, November 22nd. That's in about 2-3 Saturdays. Yeah.
It's on a Saturday?
Yes, it's on a Saturday.
Okay. And in the past, how has it been? Has it been a full day? Has it been all in class, or are there field aspects to it?
Oh, it's always a full day, and it's always outdoors because we want it to have the festival feel. So we have performances going on, but we have karaoke booths, game booths, archery. There are Korean exhibition booths where people are doing specific things with the culture. It's a full experience, so it's a full day. And we always close with a Korean movie showing and K-pop random dance.
But I know that Nigerian movies are also popular abroad.
Yes.
And I don't know, Nigerian movies, well, our movies are in the languages, principally, I think, English and Yoruba, yes. Although there are also Igbo and Hausa movies as well. Do they consume, since you people consume their own movies, so to speak, is the interest reciprocal?
Yes, to a large extent, there is, there is that interest in the Nigerian culture as well, as regards entertainment. There are Koreans who are learning Yoruba, also online.
Oh,
like
now you're making me happy.
Yes.
Okay, there are Koreans that
yes,
that are learning Yoruba.
Yes.
There you go.
There are Koreans interested, also our music, because, Africa has the groove,
And the beat, it's irresistible.
Exactly. So there are Koreans that sing Afropop. Quite a number of them actually are veering into Afropop. There are a lot of dances that are from Nigerian style music or Nigerian style choreography. So there's that interaction in the place of entertainment.
I remember just looking on the internet, and some countries that are far-flung, very far away, countries like China, like Japan, and now Korea. I imagine, because I've heard of those things in China and Japan, I'm sure there will be Nigerian-born, that is Nigerian-Korean, children.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there will be a lot of that.
Quite a few. And currently, there are 2 specific ones. I'm just mentioning those 2 because I follow them avidly. They are both half Nigerian, half Koreans. And they are celebs. Both of them are models, actually. And they are in Korea. There are people who left Nigeria, maybe like for university. There's a popular interviewer, K Explorer. He's also Nigerian. That person is even full Nigerian, but traveled to Korea and sort of built a career for himself. So there are a lot of those as well.
And do you see all of this towards what benefit ultimately is all of this going on? Is it to, well, first of all, it is to strengthen bilateral economic and indeed cultural ties.
Yes.
I don't know how the cultural ties, because are they largely Christian in Korea, or do they have their own, what do we call it, Isheshe? Do they have their own Isheshe as well?
They're largely Buddhists.
Buddhists, okay.
People who have no religion.
Okay.
They call them Mugyo. They don't have any religion.
They call them?
Mugyo.
Mugyo.
Like no religion in Korean. So it's largely Buddhism or people who don't have their own religion. but there are also a lot of Christians, and there's, in recent times, been a growing population of Muslims.
So that is, and so what your aim is to see the relationship strengthen.
Yes.
By the way, where is that relationship now? Nigeria has an embassy. It has is it a high commission?
Yeah, and the culture center,
and
the
all
embassy.
of these.
So I think largely the relationship has always been there. I think the only difference is that it is now mainstream as a result of the growth in Korea's entertainment reach on a global level. So the relationship has always been there with the economy. We have a lot of companies here that work, or a lot of companies from Korea that are established here. Companies like Daewoo have been here for a long time. The average Nigerian probably uses a Korean product, in that Samsung and LG have also been here for a while. And I think the best one for me is Expression, that's in beauty and hair care. Expression is also a Korean brand.
Okay.
So in terms of economic relationships or economic ties, they've been here for a while. There's the AKOTRA, the Korean Trade and Investment Promotion Agency. They've also been here for a while. They help Korean businesses establish overseas, or help overseas businesses establish in Korea. So in terms of economic ties, those ties have been there for a while. They've just not been as mainstream, or they've not been known on a granular level, because economy is like more serious stuff. But now that it's gone into entertainment and pop culture, Korea is a big part of global pop culture now. So it's going, people are now paying attention beyond, I mean, for me, it started with a drama, entertainment, but as I learned about the language, I grew into history. I'm now like a heavy Korean history buff. I grew into actual culture, actual knowledge of the space. So that's where I think it's going, a place where there is genuine interaction with the culture. And when we say bilateral relations, it's not just like a surface thing. It's not an economic buzzword. It's actually something that people are doing, in that they are interacting with two cultures effectively at the same time. And at an individual level, that's just a bigger world. Like, my views have changed a lot since understanding that spectrum. Like, I'm here in Nigeria, but there's someone in Korea that like lives life almost similar to me, in that our societal beliefs are similar, our upbringing might be similar, stuff like that. So it's that place that I see it going, where the interaction with culture is very genuine and, just a full experience for individuals.
Wow. Well, this is all very exciting, and I'm sure those that are able to catch this broadcast out there will also be saying that, Korea, because it looks like Nigerians don't know anything more than the UK and the US, and then they also sprinkle themselves all over Europe as well, but to go deep into, the East, that has not kept a pace of Nigeria's interest in other areas. But perhaps things are changing now.
Yeah, I mean, even to speak to education, there is a popular Korean scholarship, the Korean government scholarship, and that's something that Nigerians get every year. So I've had friends and close acquaintances who have gotten that scholarship, gone on to do a master's, are looking at their PhD in Korea, and it's off of this entire relationship. It's someone applying through the embassy to say, I want to go further my studies in Korea, and getting it. So I think, it's beyond just entertainment or mainstream, and Korea is a world power in tech. So it's a viable place for interaction economically, culturally, or in any other way, really. So I think that's something that people need to also start saying, like, beyond the K-drama, because everybody's just like, oppa, like, oh, the guys are so good looking, but it's beyond that, to be honest.
Well, this all sounds very, very exciting. In about 2 weeks' time, you said?
Yes.
That's when it is, and I'm sure you're going to put...
on the 22nd.
22nd of this month, and I'm sure there's going to be further stuff in the press.
Yes.
To alert people. It's going to hold in Lagos?
Yes, at Grange Ikeja.
Okay, so. Grange School Ikeja.
Yes, Grange School.
Well, I don't want to go beyond that, because if I go beyond that, then I have to slip you an invoice. So you fill this invoice, and but at least it's been a delight to hear your enthusiasm for Korea, And to also hear that it works the other way around as well. Once people saw that you are genuinely interested. In fact, you said something about, they say to you, you know about that too in Korea?
Yes.
You know, so it just goes to show that, well, friendships can just go from there.
It's been a full experience. We recently even started trying to tell stories of people. So we put out an announcement to say if you've interacted, we called it like Lagos to Seoul, and we said if you've interacted with Korea in any way, or if you're Korean and you've interacted with Nigeria in any way, we want to hear your story. Please reach out to us. And it was so amazing that we got stories, and people are like, oh, I'm Korean, I've done this and this and this in Nigeria. And people in Nigeria say, oh, I'm Nigerian, I just wanted to visit Korea, but now I'm living there. And it's so interesting in seeing that, like, it's full. And the more we dig, the more we see like all these experiences and stories. So yeah, it's been very enriching.
Well, I've been delighted to listen to you and host you on the program.
Thank you so much.
Just before you go, could you just say in Korean when this festival is coming up and what people should do who want to sort of join with you in Korean, in brief, to sort of wrap?
Okay. 여러분, 우리 행사는 이번 달에 20일 날이에요. 20일 날. 20일. 그래서 우리 행사 앞에 티켓 살 수 있어요. 아니면 온라인에서 티켓 살 수 있어요. 우리 인스타에서 그냥 팔로우하면 링크 보내줄게요. 감사합니다.
There you are. Thank you very much.
Very much.
I'll just carry on as if I understood all of that. But I got the English first before I said, now give them the Korean version. Yeah. Thank you very much, Kemi.
Thank you so much.
Kemi Ola, Creative Director, Korean Culture Festival in Nigeria. Yeah. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Ahead.
All right.
Okay, our pleasure. Okay, we'll leave that for the moment. When we come back from a break, we'll look at our other subject, which is to say that it's all following from the understanding we have of President Donald Trump of America saying that he might take military action. Chinese have said that if that should happen, in fact, they don't expect it to happen. That will be when we come back. Stay with us, please.